This is not just another battery update. This is the moment the future officially breaks away from the past. For decades, lithium has quietly dominated the world, powering your phones, cars, and even your homes. But beneath that dominance, a growing list of serious problems has been building. Soaring costs, fire hazards, and a suffocating dependence on global supply chains. Now, from one of Tesla's most secretive laboratories, a new technology has emerged that could destroy that empire forever. A new kind of battery, built not from scarcity, but from abundance, not from fragility, but from strength. And it does not simply compete with lithium. It crushes lithium. Is this the end of the lithium era, or just the beginning of something even bigger? Let's find out. How will Tesla's aluminum-ion battery end the lithium era this time? Tesla's aluminum-ion battery is not simply an alternative to lithium. It represents a complete demolition of the old system. At the heart of this transformation is one very simple fact. Aluminum ions carry 3 positive charges, while lithium ions carry only 1. That means aluminum can transport 3 times as much energy per ion, immediately improving energy density without requiring exotic materials or complicated engineering tricks. But the real blow to lithium comes from safety. Lithium batteries are notorious for forming dendrites, microscopic metal spikes that can pierce the separator inside a battery and cause fires or explosions. Aluminum-ion batteries do not form these dendrites at all. They remain stable at temperatures ranging from 40 degrees to 85 degrees, far beyond the limits lithium batteries can safely tolerate. That means no more thermal runaway, no more battery fires, and no need for expensive cooling systems. Then there is the supply issue. Lithium is a scarce resource, with most reserves concentrated in only a handful of countries. Aluminum, on the other hand, is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust. It can be found almost everywhere and is easier to refine. This technology also requires no cobalt, eliminating one of the electric vehicle industry's biggest ethical concerns in terms of chemistry, safety, and supply. Aluminum does not merely improve upon lithium's weaknesses. It makes lithium obsolete. Why are aluminum ions 10 times better than lithium? Aluminum-ion technology does not simply outperform lithium. It breaks through every limitation lithium batteries have ever imposed. First, there is energy density. Lithium batteries usually reach a limit of around 250 watt-hours per kilogram. Tesla's aluminum-ion battery, by comparison, could exceed 5,000 watt-hours per kilogram. This is not a minor improvement. It is a complete transformation. A Tesla Model 2 could increase its driving range from 330 miles to more than 3,000 miles on a single charge. Next comes lifespan. Lithium batteries usually begin degrading after around 2,000 charging cycles, which translates to only a few years of daily use. Aluminum-ion batteries could operate for more than 50,000 cycles, enough to last for over 70 years. This becomes possible because of the electrode's self-healing capabilities. The microscopic cracks that normally destroy lithium batteries can automatically repair themselves inside an aluminum battery, allowing it to remain durable for decades. When it comes to charging speed, lithium batteries often need close to an hour to reach 80% capacity. Aluminum-ion batteries, however, could reach 100% in just 10 minutes without overheating. That is because aluminum ions move 3 times faster and do not struggle with the same heat buildup. In terms of safety, aluminum batteries are almost impossible to explode or catch fire. They are non-toxic and extremely chemically stable. Lithium batteries have been linked to thousands of electric vehicle fires. Aluminum makes that danger disappear. In every category, from energy and charging speed to safety and lifespan, aluminum-ion technology does not compete with lithium. It completely replaces it. How incredible are the exclusive features aluminum-ion batteries could unlock? Aluminum-ion technology does not merely deliver better performance than lithium. It turns capabilities once considered science fiction into reality. The first is the self-healing electrode system. Tiny cracks that would normally destroy a lithium battery over time can be repaired within seconds inside an aluminum battery. Studies have shown that this process can restore 99.7% of the battery's original structure. In some cases, performance may even exceed 100% because the ion pathways become more efficient. In other words, the battery does not simply recover, it may actually become stronger. Then comes the revolution in energy storage capacity. A Tesla, equipped with an aluminum-ion battery, could store as much as 2,000 watt-hours, enough to power several homes or an entire construction site. It would no longer be just a battery for a car. It would become a mobile power plant. Tesla's survival mode could intelligently distribute energy during blackouts or emergencies, keeping essential equipment running for weeks. Perhaps the most astonishing feature is deep sleep mode. Unlike lithium batteries, which usually degrade during long periods of storage, an aluminum-ion battery could enter a stable crystal-like state. It would lose almost no capacity, even after 10 years. Once reactivated, the battery would need only 30 seconds to return to full operating performance. These are not small improvements. They represent entirely new categories of capability, and they prove that aluminum-ion technology is not simply a better battery. It represents a completely different era of energy technology. Before we continue, as always, remember to hit the like button below. It helps our video reach more people. Thank you. How will aluminum-ion batteries finally make electric vehicles affordable for everyone? This is where aluminum-ion technology does not simply change batteries. It transforms the entire economic equation of transportation. Lithium made electric vehicles expensive, fragile, and suitable only for a limited group of buyers. Aluminum completely changes that equation. It is the third most abundant element on Earth, and that abundance brings stability. A 50 kilowatt-hours battery pack that once cost as much as $7,500 when made with lithium could now be produced for only $2,000 to $4,000 using aluminum-ion technology. That change alone could reduce the total price of an electric vehicle by as much as 20%. Recyclability provides another major advantage. While lithium batteries lose performance every time they are recycled, aluminum-ion batteries could retain as much as 95% of their performance, even after multiple processing cycles. This reduces long-term production costs while limiting waste. Tesla understands exactly what this change means. The upcoming Model 2, rumored to have a starting price below $15,759, is the company's answer to its ambition of dominating the mass market. The car would not only be cheaper, it could also outperform every competitor in its class, offering more than 400 miles of range and a full charge in less than 15 minutes. Most importantly, it could last an entire human lifetime. An aluminum-ion battery could remain operational for 70 years. No replacement, no fire risk, and no compromises. This is not simply greater affordability, it is freedom from every barrier that has held electric vehicles back. Why is 2026 considered the beginning of a new battery era? In 2022, Elon Musk declared that everything would explode the following year. That moment has now arrived, and what we are witnessing is not simply an upgrade, it is a turning point. After nearly 7 years of quiet development inside Tesla's Nevada laboratory, the aluminum-ion battery is finally ready for commercial-scale production. This is not speculation. It is real. Tesla has quietly started manufacturing, and insider sources suggest that we may be only a few months away from a full announcement, possibly at Tesla's rumored Battery Day event in September 2026. What makes this timing so important is everything happening around it. The lithium supply chain is cracking under pressure. Prices are fluctuating wildly. Governments are rushing to tighten mining regulations. Meanwhile, consumers are becoming increasingly tired of electric vehicles that cost more than the money they save, take too long to charge, and come with a long list of hidden risks. Aluminum-ion technology eliminates all of those problems. It is arriving at exactly the moment the world needs it most. If Tesla announces a fully deployable aluminum-ion battery in September 2027, could become the first year electric vehicles truly enter the mass market. Not because of government subsidies or exaggerated marketing claims, but because they finally make sense. This is not the future slowly approaching. This is a new era slamming the door on the past. Why does the end of lithium mean far more than the arrival of a better battery? This is not simply a story about aluminum replacing lithium. It represents a change in the way humanity thinks about energy, technology, and independence. Lithium's dominance brought tremendous progress, but it also came with an enormous price. Environmental damage, geopolitical tension, and limited accessibility. Aluminum-ion technology rewrites all of those rules. Energy suddenly no longer needs to be scarce or dangerous. It becomes stable, safe, and available almost everywhere. Look beyond cars. A battery that can last 70 years, fully charge in 10 minutes, and power a home for weeks would change everything. Remote villages could operate without being connected to a power grid. Disaster-stricken regions could recover more quickly. Entire industries could redesign the way they store and distribute energy. For consumers, the most expensive component of an electric vehicle, the battery, would become its most durable, affordable, and environmentally friendly part. Tesla is not simply creating a better product. The company is quietly dismantling the infrastructure built around lithium, cobalt, and fossil fuel. Billions of dollars invested in lithium mining, refining, and transportation could soon become worthless. Companies that fail to adapt will be left behind. The aluminum-ion battery is not merely a breakthrough, it is a reset button, a new foundational standard. And when history looks back, 2026 will not simply be remembered as the year another battery technology appeared. It will be remembered as the year energy was reinvented. What happens next? And who will be left behind? The race has already begun, but most of the world has not realized it yet. While other automakers are still fine-tuning lithium batteries and chasing small improvements, Tesla's preparing to make a massive leap with a battery technology capable of changing the entire game. Aluminum-ion technology is no longer a distant experiment. It is entering production, supported by an existing global supply chain and an aluminum industry infrastructure that has been built over decades. That means the technology could scale extremely quickly, far faster than lithium ever did. Companies that continue investing heavily in lithium technology are facing a dangerous future. They're building on ground that is about to collapse. As lithium prices swing wildly and supply chains become increasingly restricted, no one can guarantee that their batteries will remain affordable, much less competitive. Once Tesla's aluminum-ion batteries officially hit the road, with lower prices, greater safety, and longer lifespans, the rest of the industry will not have years to respond. They may have only months. Consumers will change their expectations very quickly. Who would not want a battery that never needs to be replaced, never catches fire, and can fully charge in the time it takes to order a cup of coffee? This is not simply a new feature. It is an entirely new standard of expectation. The question is no longer whether aluminum-ion technology will dominate. The question is, who is ready to embrace it, and who is still betting on a past that is already ended? This is not the slow rise of a new battery. It is the sudden collapse of an old empire. Lithium had its era, but the cracks have become too deep, the risks too great, and the price too high. With Tesla's aluminum-ion breakthrough, we are not simply moving into a new chapter. We are closing the entire book on everything that came before. Safer, faster, cheaper, and more powerful. This battery changes the limits of what is possible for cars, homes, and the entire world. The transition is already begun. So ask yourself, will you stand on the sidelines and watch, or will you step directly into the future? The end of lithium is no longer approaching. It has already arrived. I'm confident that will be available in many cities in the US by the end of this year. You know, we need to make sure that it works. Like this is some crazy technology we got in this car. Just one statement, like it will be available in many US cities before the end of this year. is enough to make the electric vehicle industry hold its breath. Because this time, the story is not simply about a new car. It is about something that could completely change the game. Tesla is reportedly preparing to launch an electric car priced at around $15,000 before the end of the year. If that becomes reality, this would not merely be an affordable price point. It could be the threshold that turns electric vehicles into a true mass-market choice. For years, the idea of an affordable Tesla priced at around $30,000 was considered reasonable. But the situation has changed at a dizzying pace. In China, domestic automakers are selling electric vehicles at prices that are almost unbelievable, sometimes as low as $12,000 for everyday transportation. The pressure comes from the speed at which these products are flooding the market. Tesla, the symbol of electric transportation and autonomous driving, is now facing large-scale manufacturers attacking with the most brutal weapon of all: price. As electric vehicles become more common, $30,000 suddenly feels like a luxury price. That is why rumors of a Tesla costing less than $15,000 sound both crazy and completely logical. Crazy because the company is associated with advanced technology, expensive batteries, and complex manufacturing processes. Logical because if Tesla wants to maintain its leadership position, it must give ordinary customers a reason to make a quick decision. At that point, victory will belong to the product that is good enough, widely available, affordable, and quick to reach the market. Musk is reportedly emphasizing an entirely new way of building cars, not just a new vehicle model. The market is excited not only about the selling price, but also about the manufacturing ambition behind it. Rumors suggest production of thousands of vehicles per day, possibly even exceeding the combined peak production of the Model 3 and Model Y. It sounds like science fiction, but Tesla is making a major bet on standardized platforms, fewer components, and gigacasting for large sections of the vehicle body. The next leap would not come from simply building more factories, but from changing the manufacturing process and designing the car specifically around that process. In the middle of its competition with BYD, the name Model 2 has started appearing. This is what the community calls the vehicle, expected to cost $14,999. The name itself is less important than the message behind it. Tesla could shift from being seen as a premium automaker to pursuing full-scale mass adoption and expanding its entire ecosystem. If the vehicle launches in December, the excitement will become even more intense. That date is close enough to make the rumor seem believable, but urgent enough to suggest Tesla is already in the final sprint. Since there has been no official announcement, the story is still based on leaks and internal signals. The emerging picture shows a small hatchback that is more compact than the Model 3 and Model Y, with its own distinct design. It would not simply be a scaled-down copy, but a compact urban vehicle, optimized for aerodynamics and focused heavily on cost. A price below $15,000 naturally brings concerns about cost-cutting. However, the rumors describe a vehicle that is not cheaply patched together, but redesigned from the ground up to be more affordable. This can be seen in the front end. Instead of a long continuous light bar, Tesla may choose simpler headlight units focused on function, fewer parts, cleaner shapes, and easier manufacturing. Without making the vehicle look cheap, the car would still need to be instantly recognizable as a Tesla, only smaller and carrying a different kind of futuristic appearance. The most obvious change would be found in the body structure. A new generation of gigacasting could be the key, reducing the number of separate components, welds, manufacturing tolerances, and assembly time. Fewer parts would not only lower material costs, but also eliminate production steps, potential failure points, and inspection requirements. For a low-cost vehicle, these savings are extremely important. If the body appears to be cast as one solid structure, that would represent both an aesthetic choice and a manufacturing philosophy. Eliminate defects through design, instead of detecting them at the end of production. Practicality would also be reflected in the doors. There has been speculation about falcon wing doors or other futuristic opening mechanisms. but a mass-market model would most likely use 4 traditional doors. The hinges, tolerances, and opening angles would be optimized for everyday use. A car designed for ordinary people must work well in tight parking spaces, narrow city streets, and real-world situations. Complicated doors attract attention, while practical doors attract buyers. Even with aggressive cost reductions, the vehicle would reportedly retain autonomous driving hardware that fits perfectly with Tesla's DNA. Self-driving technology is not treated as an optional accessory, but as a foundation. Tesla does not want its affordable model to be disconnected from the future. Instead, it wants the vehicle to serve as an entry point into the company's ecosystem. Cameras, processors, and system integration would likely remain because Tesla is thinking about millions of future vehicles participating in a robo-taxi network or operating with a high level of automation. The interior would be simplified. Cloth seats could replace synthetic leather. Heated seats might be removed. There may be no panoramic glass roof. Standard glass could be used. Ambient lighting might be limited to one color, and the sound system could have fewer speakers. These reductions make sense because Tesla already offers premium models for customers who value comfort and luxury. The entry-level model would need to achieve one main objective: bring the price as low as possible without ruining the driving experience or removing the company's core technology. The most fascinating part is the battery, the most expensive component in an electric vehicle. Lithium-ion batteries currently dominate the market. While affordable electric cars often use lithium-iron phosphate batteries, but at a price below $15,000, even lithium-iron phosphate could be difficult to make financially viable. This is where a bold rumor appears. Tesla may be developing an aluminum-ion battery. This unfamiliar technology is being described as a possible way to move beyond lithium. Lithium prices can fluctuate, and its supply chain is complicated. While aluminum is abundant, inexpensive, and theoretically safer, it would be very much in Musk's style for a new technology to appear, not in a luxury vehicle, but in a high-volume mass-market model. An aluminum ion carries 3 positive charges, while a lithium ion carries only 1. In theory, that could allow higher current flow and faster charging. The rumors mention an energy density of around 500 Wh per kilogram, compared with roughly 250 Wh per kilogram for lithium-ion cells. Those numbers sound almost too good to be true, and battery technology is far more complicated than those figures alone suggest. A small, lightweight vehicle would benefit greatly from a more efficient battery. Strong aerodynamics, low weight, and a powerful battery pack could create an impressive driving range. Sources mention at least 300 miles of range, with a battery pack of around 53 kWh. These figures sound almost unrealistic, which is exactly why they are generating so much discussion. Even more important is the cost. According to estimates, a battery pack like this could be around $2,000 cheaper than an equivalent lithium iron phosphate pack. For a $15,000 vehicle, that difference could determine whether the model is profitable, unprofitable, or even financially possible. Tesla may be preparing 2 versions, a standard range model and a long-range model. This is a familiar strategy, but on the Model 2, the main difference would likely be the battery. If the company chooses a new battery chemistry, this would not simply be a new vehicle. It could become a battery platform for other models or a warning shot to the entire industry. The competition between Tesla and BYD is no longer just a marketing battle. The real focus is now on supply chains, production speed, and reducing prices without sacrificing quality. BYD stands out for its production volume and affordable prices, while Tesla remains strong in software, brand recognition, and ecosystem integration. A Tesla priced below $15,000 would directly attack its rival's greatest advantage. That is why this story extends far beyond a temporary wave of media excitement. The most concerning, or perhaps most exciting factor, is the potential demand. An affordable Tesla could trigger a wave of orders that far exceeds available supply. Tesla would then face a familiar but dangerous challenge: scaling production quickly without damaging quality or service. This is where the new manufacturing method would be put to the test. Entering the low-price segment would not mean Tesla is abandoning its premium position. It would mean bringing more people into the company's vision of the future. An affordable vehicle equipped with autopilot hardware could continue improving through software. Today, it would be a personal car. Tomorrow, it could become part of an autonomous transportation network. To make that possible, Tesla needs a huge number of vehicles on the road. The entire story remains fragile because it is still based mostly on rumors. Tesla is famous for creating enormous expectations and sometimes disappointing people afterward. However, even if only part of this information is accurate, it would still be enough to shake the market. A small $15,000 hatchback launching near the end of the year, featuring a new design, simplified manufacturing, autopilot hardware, and possibly even a new battery technology. If that happens, Tesla vehicles could begin appearing across suburbs, downtown areas, crowded parking lots, and in the driveways of families who never thought they would buy an electric car. They would not buy it because they were obsessed with technology. They would buy it because the price finally made the decision feel reasonable. At that point, electric transportation would no longer feel like the future. It would become part of everyday life. And the Model 2, whatever name it eventually receives, could become the best-selling Tesla in history, not because it is luxurious, but because it does exactly what the mass market needs most. It opens the door for millions of people. What we really wanted to achieve here is like, well, why? Why make this really fast car? That an electric car is the best car. Tesla is getting ready to do something massive, something that could scare the electric vehicle industry more than almost anything else. Make lithium batteries look outdated. For more than a decade, nearly every major EV manufacturer has bet billions of dollars on lithium, building factories, signing mining contracts, and fighting for supplies around the world. But now, a new battery technology based on aluminum could threaten that entire system. It is expected to be cheaper, safer, faster to charge, and built from materials that are far more abundant. If Tesla can take this technology from a laboratory experiment and turn it into a battery pack that can be manufactured by the millions, even China's current advantage in the global battery supply chain could be disrupted. And that is where this story starts getting really serious. Because Tesla may not simply be trying to build a better battery, the company could be trying to remove one of the biggest bottlenecks holding back the entire electric vehicle industry. So just how powerful could aluminum-ion batteries really be? Why could they threaten lithium's current dominance? And if Elon Musk gets this bet right, could Tesla once again force the entire auto industry to follow its lead? For years, most of the industry has been moving down essentially the same path. Manufacturers have been trying to increase the energy density of lithium-ion batteries, improve cooling systems, reduce charging times, and extend cell life. Those improvements are important, but they're still based on relatively familiar battery chemistry. Aluminum-ion batteries take a very different approach. Aluminum is one of the most widely used metals in modern industry. We already have massive global systems for mining it, refining it, transporting it, processing it, and recycling it. That means if aluminum-based battery technology can reach the necessary level of performance, the industry may not need to build an entirely new supply chain from scratch. And that is what makes this story much bigger than just another battery experiment. Tesla has always been known for trying to improve not only individual components, but also the entire manufacturing system around them. If aluminum allows the company to lower material costs, while also simplifying the structure of the battery pack, the benefits could show up at several different levels, from factory operations and vehicle prices, all the way to the total cost of ownership for customers. But cost is only part of the story. One of the hardest problems facing lithium batteries today is heat. When batteries charge and discharge at high power levels, their cells generate a significant amount of heat. That is why modern EVs need sophisticated thermal management systems, cooling lines, sensors, and control software to keep their batteries within a safe temperature range. All of that equipment adds weight, cost, and complexity. According to claims surrounding aluminum-ion battery technology, these batteries could potentially operate more consistently across a wider temperature range, while reducing risks related to thermal runaway. If that can actually be proven at commercial scale, the impact could be significant. A battery system that depends less on large and complicated cooling hardware could make vehicles lighter, simpler, and less expensive.